Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Kristen Gear. I am the Director of Operations and one of the Managing Directors for BNI Arizona. And every single week, I come to you providing a weekly education nugget called Wisdom Wednesday that counts as one chapter education for watching. So thank you so much for tuning in to this week's edition of Wisdom Wednesday. Please make sure to log your numbers, guys. I have been reviewing the power of one, and there are a lot of goose eggs in that chapter education column. So please, 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 please log your chapter education units. Even if you're listening to podcasts or doing courses through Business Builder, it doesn't log it automatically for you. You still need to log your chapter education unit. So every hour equals one chapter education unit. Remember, guys, chapter education units count for BNI materials and then leadership and development, whether you're listening to books or reading books. That counts towards that. Now, your own industry's continuing education, it does not count towards chapter education units. So it's different. I know that some chapters still have on their slides continuing education, which definitely confuses things. So you want to make sure that your slideshow says chapter education unit because it is BNI networking related materials. So you want to make sure that that is the case. I've seen a lot of hours that chapters have recorded that members have done chapter education units. So we want to make sure that they are legit chapter education units and not your own industry's continuing education. That does not count. All right? Perfect. So I wanted to let you guys know I have been to some amazing events lately. If you can see, I'm repping my BNI Gladiators hat. It's pretty cool that chapters have created some pretty fun swag for their chapters. I know that several chapters around the valley have some amazing swag for either their networking leaders or visitors. Gladiators had their open business day yesterday and just blew it out of the park. And then today, I attended the BNI Foothill Sharks meeting, and they had a whole open business day for realtors. How awesome is that? It's all about collaboration, guys. Even though BNI is one person per profession, please keep in mind that it's not about competition, even in BNI. Even because we are only one person per profession, go and collaborate with people in your own profession. You are missing the boat if you are not collaborating with people in your own profession. I guarantee you need to do it. When you have the abundance mindset, it is going to go so far, so far. So don't be secluded by just the people in your group or thinking that if someone visits your group that's in the same industry that it's going to affect your referrals, because it's not. You're the one building relationships with the members of your chapter. So congratulations, Christy. We had, I think, over 10 different realtors from around the valley that attended the meeting today. Just looking to get more information about BNI, see what it's all about, and potentially look into starting another new chapter, because we have over 80 chapters around the valley, guys, and we are always looking to start new chapters. I think we have about 10 startup chapters in the mix right now that we're working with to start new groups. And usually it all starts with the realtor, mortgage professional, financial advisor, and insurance, because those four, which we like to call the firm categories, can't find an opening in our current chapters. So they have two options. One, they can go on a waiting list, which it's hard to get off of that waiting list. And when there is an opening, there's probably 10 to 15 professionals fighting for that one spot. So the other option for them would be to start another chapter in their area to create their own success team in BNI. So that is an option if you have other realtors in mind that you're like, you know what, they would probably make a really great fit for BNI. We could definitely walk them through that process. You can just refer them over to me, and I can get them over to our business development coordinator, Kim DeHaan, who covers all things new chapters, which is really cool. But today I wanted to kind of touch on visibility. So how are you creating visibility in your chapter meeting? And how is your chapter creating positive visibility within the BNI community? You want to create some fun, guys. Dr. Ivan Misner always said, creating the fun in the fundamentals. Yes, we have structure to the BNI meetings, but no, it should not be boring. It should not be boring, guys. You have to infuse energy. You have to infuse personality in your BNI meetings, in your weekly presentations. When it's your time to shine, giving the feature presentation, like, you need to knock it out of the park. Yes, I know that everyone's at different levels of comfort level in their public speaking. And that's a great thing about BNI is it not only helps you on the professional level, it also helps you on the personal level. I was deathly afraid of public speaking over, oh gosh, how long have I been in BNI? Over 13 years ago. I didn't think I was going to last a year in BNI, and now you just can't shut me up. Even if you watch some of my earlier Wisdom Wednesday videos, because I've been doing these every week for probably over 3 years now, or even 4 years, those first ones, they're not as great as the ones that are now, at least to me. They definitely have more personality now, but you really need to figure out what's going to set you apart from the rest. How are people going to remember you? Especially if you're in a bigger chapter, you have to do things that are unique, that are going to make you stand out. Like in today, the Foothills Sharks meeting, they had multiple members either singing or doing some fun things in their presentation, which I remember those presentations because they stood out. When you're in a chapter with over 90 members, you gotta stand out, right? So you gotta figure out what that looks like for you. Not everyone is going to sing in their presentation. We don't need the BNI chapter meetings being musicals all over the valley, but but every once in a while, throwing in something fun just to change it up. Or if you do that every week, awesome. I definitely would not have the comfort level to do that every week, but that's your personality. You have to put your personality and create some unique visibility in BNI, because that is going to make people remember you the most, especially when you have a lot of visitors in the room. And even with our leadership teams, our education coordinators, anyone that has a speaking part in the chapter meeting, you guys, you have to infuse some energy in your speaking parts. Yes, most of the information that we're talking about every single week, it can feel redundant, and every once in a while, because you're talking about the same thing every week, you kind of act as if you're going through the motions. You're like, oh, just go talking about the core values, or, oh, yep, just talking about BNI. But you have to infuse some energy, especially if you have first-time people in the room. If they notice that you're just going through the motions, talking about your section of the meeting, they're probably going to find another chapter that they really connect with that's like, wow, like, that was an amazing meeting. And I've attended a ton of meetings lately that I was just blown away by the personality, the uniqueness of the chapter, like BNI Gladiators. They had a whole Gladiators theme filtered in throughout the entire meeting. It was incredible. So if you ever go to visit them, I highly encourage it. But figure out what that looks like for you guys. How can you make your chapter unique? Now, the biggest thing with being unique, though, guys, it's not to be the class clown or to be inappropriate or to not be professional. You still want to make sure that you're professional, because if you're not viewed as professional, that's not going to help your visibility or your credibility to build you more referrals. So you got to figure out what that looks like for you. And changing up your weekly presentation. So maybe 1 week share a testimonial, another week bring in a tool of the trade, like share some details about your business. Maybe people don't know you use certain tools for your specific trade. So maybe every once in a while, bring in one of those tools and talk about it during that weekly presentation. Because remember, during those weekly presentations, we want to focus on just one specific item. Like we learned in Member Success Program training, it's all about our LCD, which is the lowest common denominator. We just want to talk about one product or service each week in the meetings. If we include tons of information about our business in those short weekly presentations, we're going to lose people. And you want to make sure to paint that picture in everyone's mind on that ideal referral to send your way. Because if we're talking about too much or we're too broad, like if I was a chiropractor, which I'm not, and I stood up and I said, a great referral for me is anybody with a spine. Well, that really doesn't, I can't think of anyone specific. I mean, everyone has a spine, but I can't think of someone specific to send over to that chiropractor. But if I was more specific and said that I am looking for a referral connection for personal injury attorneys, because one of my specialties is dealing with car accident victims, and personal injury attorneys would be the perfect referral source for me, so that way we can help out all of their clients through that trauma. So that's being way more specific, because then if I think of someone that has either been in a car accident or if I know of a connection to a personal injury attorney, I'm going to be able to send those referrals over to that chiropractor. So you want to make sure that you're specific. Don't be afraid to be too specific. If you are looking for a connection for a specific company, who in that company do you need to talk to? Maybe even doing some research ahead of time and say like, hey, I'm looking for a connection to XYZ company. The perfect connection would be their HR manager, Sue, who would be able to help me with all of the benefits that I can offer them. So being that specific, and maybe no one in the chapter knows Sue, but if they know someone like Sue in a relatable company, they're going to be able to send those referrals your way. So make sure to be super specific. It's like be specific to be terrific. I think that's how it goes. But be unique, be super specific, especially in those weekly presentations. Change it up. Don't talk about the same thing every single week. There are definitely things in every single profession that you can change it up with. If you have questions on how to change up your weekly presentation, you can connect with Carolyn or I, or you can also attend the Zoom version of Member Success Program training to get a little refresher, because our amazing trainer, Bonnie Maley, she goes through all of the details about LCDs, has you practice them, and she'll give you feedback. So that is pretty cool. So if you've never attended the Member Success Program training with Bonnie, I highly, highly recommend it, guys. So I think the next one is on Monday, March 13th from 1 to 4 p.m. It's on the BNI Arizona calendar. So if you are available that day, we would love to have you attend. And soon, coming soon, guys, BNI Arizona is going to roll out a mentor program that's available for all members. So for the chapters that maybe don't have a mentor program currently, or maybe just need some additional mentoring, we will have an ongoing set program for our mentor program starting in April. So it's only a month away. So excited. We're already planning all the details and lining up the different trainers for this mentor program. So we'll be people that are on our director team. So you'll get to hear from some amazing leaders from around the valley. So I'm really excited to bring more details about that mentor program to you guys very soon. But it's coming your way starting in April. So really excited. But remember, guys, be unique, create more positive visibility for yourself. Be unique in your chapter, create some awesome visibility for your chapter, and even some fun gifts for the visitors, especially when you are planning your open business days. We have member extravaganza coming up in April as well. And I know a lot of chapters are scheduling their open business days right now. So plan ahead, plan now to promote your chapter. Like, be proud of your chapter. You want to create some unique visibility for your chapter. Make sure to use this Facebook page, guys. Post pictures, post details about your event. That's what this page is all about. It's all about the chapter events. The biggest thing to remember is that this page is not intended to promote your business, and it's not intended to ask for sub requests. So we do have a separate BNI Arizona sub request page that you can use to ask for upcoming substitutes. Now, it's not a guarantee that someone's going to be available, but I would highly recommend using it as one of your sources if you're looking for a substitute for an upcoming meeting. So make sure to check that out. If you need the link, just message me and I can make sure to get you included on that page. And yeah, if you have any questions about how to create more visibility, I'm open to also set up one-to-ones. Make sure to reach out to me anytime. I'm always happy to help anyone that has questions. So make sure to reach out to me. Thank you guys so much for attending this week's Wisdom Wednesday. And remember to record one chapter education unit for watching. So as soon as this ends, go to your BNI Connect app, click on chapter education unit, and click on one chapter education unit. That would be amazing. I want to see those goose eggs disappearing on these upcoming Power of One reports, guys. No more goose eggs. That's why I have this video. Come on. So, record it. Hashtag log it. Thank you guys so much for attending, and we will see you all next week. Have a great day.